My name is Juanita Archuleta, and I work on the NinjaTrader business development team. We have a very special event for you today with Steve Wheeler of NaviTrader. It is important to understand that there are substantial risks in trading commodity futures contracts and Forex. You should carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you and will depend on your specific circumstance and financial resources. It is possible to lose all funds deposited with your broker and could even incur losses beyond these amounts. Please inquire at the following link for a full copy of the risk disclosure, or if you have any questions regarding the CFTC risk disclosure. We're very excited for this unique event in which Steve will show us how easily you can visualize market moves in consolidation times so you know when to be in and out of the market. Thank you again for your attendance today, and without further ado, it is my pleasure to welcome to the NinjaTrader webinar room, Steve Wheeler. Go ahead and take it away, Steve.
Well, thanks, Juanita, and thanks everyone for joining us this afternoon. We're going to be covering a number of areas today, but really, in essence, what we're going to cover is the various tools that we've developed here at NaviTrader over a period of quite a few years. We've been in this business since 2002, and I'm proud to say we've got a lot of customers who have been with us ever since the beginning. We're going to talk about how to automate your signals. And one thing I want to mention here today too is we're not talking about a fully automated system. We're going to be talking about fully automated methods of actually testing different strategies. And we're going to be using the new product that we've developed here at NaviTrader called the Strategy Finder, and that runs on the NinjaTrader version 8 platform. So that's what we're going to be covering. And the Strategy Finder actually works off of our charts and indicators, so we're going to be introducing you to our charts and how they function. All right, so let's cover why trade futures in the first place. Big benefit is we can go long and short with great ease. So long or short positions, very easy to go long or short depending on the market direction. And the whole purpose of our charts here is to put you on the right side of the market. So you can see we've even automated our buy and sell signals. Buy signals are green, sell signals are the magenta arrows. And the system trading that we've developed actually works off these same charts and indicators in trade management. So that's why we're going to spend quite a bit of time on these charts this afternoon. All right, so you can see that one thing that I'm a firm believer in is you need to have strategies that work under all market conditions. We all know that everyone who's an investor that takes long stock positions is a genius in a bull market. But when we get markets like we've seen over the last several months, starting with about October 4th of 2018, the U.S. equity futures markets started to fall very quickly. But the nice thing about that is with futures, you can take advantage of those down moves just as you can on the up moves. All right, so one of the things we were going to cover today that I think is extremely important is there's three things that you need to do to be successful in any market. And I know a lot of people in the poll were saying they came here for trader education. So here are really three important points we need to make here. First thing you need to do is establish a set of rules for your trading. And of course, those rules should focus around being on the right side of the market. You know, if the market's going down, you want to be short. If it's moving up, you want to be long. It really gets down to that simple fact. So you need a set of tools that will show you that direction. And what we've done here at NaviTrader is actually developed algorithms in our charts that will actually show you visually whether the market's moving up or down. So first thing you need to do is establish a set of rules based on whatever charts and indicators that you're using. Second thing is actually test these rules. Just having rules doesn't mean that you're going to automatically be a successful trader. You need to take those rules, test them, And number 3, very vital areas, actually use those rules consistently and with great discipline. All right, so again, what you need to define is a set of rules, and of course that can be based on a number of different things, your indicators, whatever charts you're using. And of course, when your set of conditions is met, you need to determine what you will do when you see those conditions. And number 3, how you will manage risk. Very important area there as well. All right, so the components that you need to test. Question I get from a lot of people are what are the percentage of winners that we have? What are the percentage of losers? Lots of different questions like that. What are the best charts to use? What are the best times to trade? These are all things that you need to test before you trade. Now, of course, with testing, there's several different ways that you can test. You can test manually, or you can test in an automated fashion. So we're going to talk about both. So again, the components you want to test are what chart to use, what times you're going to trade, what instrument you're going to trade, what conditions need to be met for an entry, and what conditions need to be met for your exit. So those are really the most critical components of your actual strategy. Now here at NaviTrader, I'm just going to introduce you to our charts so that you can see visually how the charts function and where we get signals on the charts. And by the way, everything we're going to show you here does run exclusively in the NinjaTrader platform. We do support NinjaTrader version 7 or 8. Now I do strongly recommend that you run in version 8. There are a lot of enhancements that were put into version 8, and some of them are specific to strategy testing. Very important that you use version 8 of NinjaTrader. All right, so these are our trend indicator charts. You can see the magenta arrow is a sell signal. When the market's moving down, the bars are red. And the red line is our trade management line. We're going to talk more about that. In a short position, the trade management line is this red line. All right. All right, so price movement is a function of supply and demand. This chart we're looking at here is a volume chart applying our trend indicator charts and indicators. So you can see in this volume chart, when the signal line is green, the probability favors a move up. If the signal line turns to red, probability favors a move down. So here we moved up on green, turned back to red here, turned back to green here. Now one of the rules we follow with our volume charts is we take trades when we get a new bar signal line color. Just for confirmation, we like to go below that first bar before we go short, or above the first green bar before we go long. So some things like that will keep you out of some bad trades. All right, so you can see our charts. Again, I want to cover these charts today because we're going to be talking about the strategy finder here in a few minutes. And the strategy finder works off of these charts. It gives you the ability to actually test these signals, test out which chart is going to work best in a given market, best way to enter and exit trades, for example, on profit targets or on trailing stops. All right, so this is the trend indicator charts. You can see the magenta arrows are sell signals. Green arrow is a buy signal. And the bar color will also show you the actual direction of the market. Now, one thing that we know about markets is they tend to trend, and then they will consolidate, trend further, consolidate. And when the market's trending, you're going to get what we call power bars. Again, these bars are based on our own proprietary algorithms. So the red bars with no gold frame are the power bars, the bars with the gold frame are consolidation bars. So you can see what typically happens is we're going to move, we're going to consolidate, we're going to move above or below that consolidation, and you can see that that's the case. So if we move below a consolidation bar, usually you'll get a further move down. If we consolidate, you can see this market moved down, consolidated, and actually moved back up again. So it came down to a support level, had a sell signal here, never really went below that bar, had a buy signal here, went above that bar over here, and moved up. All right, so the signals are actually built into our trend indicator charts. Buy signals are the green arrows. Green line is the trade management line. And by the way, we're using version 8 of NinjaTrader. You do have the ability to attach a stop to an indicator line. So you can see on this move up, you can attach the stop to that indicator line and have the system manage the trade for you. A very nice feature. All right, so indicator line on a long position is the green line, and indicator line on a short position is the red line. All right, so the trend indicator charts, the green power bars are the bars with no gold frame. And again, within a trend, you can see we get this move up. We consolidated here, we moved higher here, consolidated here, moved below that consolidation, had consolidation here, moved below it, consolidation here, moved above it. So you can see the consolidation bars are actually another very good tool within our charts. All right, so as I said before too, the green line is the trade management line in a long position. Red line is the trade management line in a short position. And as I said, you can, using version 8, attach a stop to the indicator line. It's very easy to do. Once you're in the trade, attach the stop to the indicator line. And you can see here, once we came up to this point here, we would be exiting that short position based on the trailing stop. All right, so just want to talk a little bit about trending markets and consolidating markets and some of the characteristics of those types of markets and how our charts can show you when you're trending and when you're consolidating. Again, trending, you get the red power bars on the down move, consolidation here. You can see you can actually enter a trade on this move down. If we move below that consolidation bar, you can even enter a short trade at that point. All right, so the automated buy signals are green arrows. Automated sell signals are the magenta arrows. By the way, if anyone has questions, please type them into the question area. We will have some time at the end to cover your questions. As I mentioned before too, the more that you can do to automate your trading, the better. So of course, another thing that you can do, and this is part of the NinjaTrader platform, is just to use an ATM strategy where you can plug in essentially a template that controls where your stop is placed and where your profit target is placed upon entering a trade. All right, so here's a chart on the Dow futures. You can see once we turn to a green signal line here, we moved up. Here we came down, we'd be exiting that trade on a trailing stop. Here we went long again, trailing stop here. Buy signal here, and came out on a trailing stop. Here's a Dow chart. This is actually a chart where we had a green signal line the entire day on the Dow. All right, so one of the reasons I wanted to spend time on these charts is because these charts really are the kind of the basis of our strategy finder. So using the NinjaTrader strategy analyzer capability, we can use that function within NinjaTrader to test our charts and indicators on different chart types, such as Renko charts, range charts, minute charts, whatever you want to test. All right, so here's an example where we entered a long trade based on this signal, and trailing stop, you can see, was managed by the system. So move up, trailing stop. Whenever we come down, hit the trailing stop, which eventually it will do, then you're out of that trade. Okay, so magenta arrows are the sell signals. Again, more sell signals here. Now, one of the things I wanted to talk about here today, too, is to put the odds even further in your favor, which, of course, is what we all want to do. I like to look for the same signals on correlated markets. For example, if we have a chart of the NASDAQ and the E-mini, I'm going to show you that in just a few minutes. NASDAQ and the E-mini giving us the same signal at the same time. That even improves your overall odds of success. All right, so now that we've taken a few minutes here to cover these charts, what I want to do is talk about testing your strategies. Okay, so manual testing we talked about a few minutes ago. Now, manual testing, there's nothing wrong with that. The only problem with manual testing is to test enough trades to have a statistically significant number of trades. It's very tedious, very time-consuming, and most people will usually give up before they really do an adequate test. A much better way to go is to automate your testing. And what we've done here at NaviTrader is developed a tool called the Strategy Finder that applies testing to our charts. And it's using the NinjaTrader Strategy Analyzer, which is part of the NinjaTrader platform, applying that Strategy Analyzer to our charts so we can test which charts are best to use, what time is best to trade, what instruments you should be trading, entry conditions, and exit conditions. All right, so I'm going to show you some examples of how that can be done. This is an example of the NinjaTrader Strategy Analyzer. After we run a back test, you can see it will gather a lot of statistics for you, depending on the chart that you're using, the time frame that you're trading in, whether you're getting out on targets or on trailing stops. You can test literally hundreds of trades within a matter of a few minutes. Try doing that manually. It's not very, very difficult, and more than likely you'll give up before you really do an adequate test. So I'll just take you through some of the different things you can do with this tool. All right, so you can see we can test different start and stop times. We can test whether or not we're better off with a daily profit target or not, daily loss limits, different chart types, different exit strategies, whether we want to get out on a target or a trailing stop. And of course you can test as many different instruments as you have data for. All right, so if you want to test the E-mini, of course you'd select the E-mini and run your test on that particular instrument. You can test different start and stop times. Here we're starting at 9:30 Eastern and we're ending at 11 o'clock. You can even have strategies where you have a morning strategy and an afternoon strategy. Maybe you've got one that runs from 9:30 to 11 and another one that runs from, let's say, 1 o'clock till 3 o'clock Eastern time. And I see some questions. We will get to those in just a few minutes. Let me just remind everyone too, we will have a drawing at the end of the webinar for a 1 year of the Strategy Finder. So we're going to do a random drawing. We'll have 2 people that are chosen for a 1 year license of the Strategy Finder. And you can get that just by sending an email to support@NaviTrader.com. All right, so Strategy Finder, we can test on different instruments. Here we're testing on the Russell on a range chart. But again, you can select whatever chart you want to use. You can test trade management, whether you want to get out on targets, whether you want to use a fixed stop going in or a trailing stop. We also have long and short filters. If you want to filter out all your long or short trades based on certain conditions, we can do that. And then, of course, really neat thing that you can do is with the Strategy Finder, once you've developed a strategy, you can actually run it under real-time conditions, and you can apply it to a chart. You can apply the strategy to a chart and run it You can run it in the Chart Trader with Chart Trader in NinjaTrader. So you actually be able to see the actual strategy running, and you'll be able to see whenever it takes trades, you could take the same trade yourself. Okay, so what we're talking about here is automating your testing, and you'll be able to also run this under real-time market conditions to see where it's taking trades, how it's managing the trade, and so on. All right, so you see the entries and exits in real time depending on the way that you've got your parameters set. All right, so another thing I mentioned earlier that you can do as well. If you're running the Strategy Finder, you'll see where it's taking trades, and you can run it on 2 different correlated markets. For example, the top chart here is the E-mini, and the bottom chart is the NASDAQ. So we get the same signal on 2 different correlated markets. That is an extremely high probability trade. All right, see a question from Miguel. Could we repeat how to enter the drawing? Yeah, just send an email to support@NaviTrader.com. We'll have that drawing here in a few minutes. Let me go ahead and review some questions here. I think we're getting close to our time limit here. All right, so I see a question that says, does the Strategy Finder and NaviBars come with NT7? We do support NinjaTrader 7 with our charts and indicators. If you're going to be running the Strategy Finder, I would strongly recommend that you run version 8. The reason for that is there have been a lot of enhancements in 8 that you want to take advantage of when it comes to testing strategies. All right, so I'd strongly recommend 8. For anyone who's still running 7, we do support 7 and 8. However, again, I do strongly recommend 8. And here at NaviTrader, we do provide unlimited support. So if you do have any questions about how to get started using version 8, we're more than happy to help you with that. So there's lots of new features in 8 that I think you really want to take advantage of. All right, so just to kind of recap here, what we've covered is the Trendicator charts, and we wanted to cover the Trendicator charts so you'd understand kind of what we're doing here, which essentially is applying the NinjaTrader strategy analyzer to our charts so that you can actually test them based on different times to trade, stop strategies, profit target exits, trailing stop exits, and so on. So it's giving you, what we're really trying to do here is put all the tools in your hands that you will have the highest probability of success in your trading. So we want everyone to have the best technology, and part of that I would say too is just being on the latest version of NinjaTrader. All right, so I want to thank NinjaTrader for sponsoring this event today, and I also want to compliment NinjaTrader. We do run exclusively in NinjaTrader, and one of the reasons for that is the excellent customer support that they provide. I don't have to rely on NinjaTrader too often for their support, but when I do, they're extremely responsive, and that's really important when it comes to software support, and especially for something like your trading platform. All right, so let's see if anyone has other questions. See a question from Tom. What moment is signal generated? Signals are generated on the bar close. All right, signals are generated on the bar close. So all right, so some questions about our price bars. Our price bars are actually our own proprietary NaviBars, we call them. All right, so the system is using our own proprietary NaviBars. They're bars that we've developed based on our own proprietary algorithms. All right, so another thing I'll mention too for everyone, we did post a link, I think, in the room. We will be having some live events coming up over the next few days, so you'll be able to come into our room and see the charts functioning under real-time market conditions and ask any questions you might have. All right, so in just a second too, I'm going to cover the special we have here today. Also, I'll review questions here. We'll keep the room open. I think we've got a few minutes at least to cover any questions. So here's our special for today. For everyone in attendance, you will, under our special today, you're going to get 3 years of the Trendicator charts, 3-year subscriptions, 3 years of our Trade Finder, 3 years of the Trade Automator, and 3 years of the Strategy Finder. Strategy Finder is what we talked about toward the end. It's an automated tool you'll be able to use to actually test our charts and indicators based on different chart types and time frames and so on. You'll also get 3 months in our member room. I run a real-time room. It's open every day from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. And the purpose of that room is really essentially customer support. We're there to show people how to use these tools, and the room is open during real-time market conditions. We also provide unlimited online support and also unlimited telephone support. For those people who start with our program, we like to set up a one-on-one session where we make sure that all your charts and indicators and the Strategy Finder is all installed correctly and that you understand how to use these tools. And we also provide video training. So we do have video training as well. All right, so you get all this 3 years of the charts, 3 years of the Strategy Finder, along with 3 months in our member room for only $34.77. And for those people who send us an email, we'll also show you how to save $600 off that pricing. So it's $600 saving. Just send an email to support@navitrader.com. Let me just double check for any questions. Okay, I see a question from Justin. Is this recorded? As far as I know, it will be recorded. You can contact NinjaTrader to confirm that. I'm pretty sure it is. Did have some questions on pricing, and if anyone has questions on pricing, just please call us on our 800 number. It's on our website, and it's also on the screen here. Also, we will have 1 week of free open house live market room sessions with trader tips videos, and you can attend that just by sending a request to support@NaviTrader.com. Anyone has questions on anything, call us on our 800 number. It's on the bottom of the screen right now. Again, I want to thank Juanita and all the great people at NinjaTrader and compliment them again on their great customer support.